Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a little girl who was called Little Red Riding Hood because her grandmother had given her a red cloak. One day, her mother asked her to bring food and medicine to her grandmother, who lived on the other side of the forest. Before she left, her mother warned her to be careful, stay on the path, and not talk to strangers. As Little Red Riding Hood walked through the forest, she listened to the birds singing and began picking flowers. While she was enjoying her walk, a cunning wolf approached her and asked where she was going. Not knowing the wolf's evil intentions, the little girl innocently said that she was going to her grandmother's house. The wolf, thinking of a sneaky plan, said, "Why don't you pick some flowers to give your grandmother a nice gift?" Little Red Riding Hood loved the idea and started gathering flowers along the way. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to the grandmother's house. When the wolf arrived, he knocked on the door, thinking it was her granddaughter. The grandmother let him in. The wolf quickly locked the grandmother in a cupboard, put on her clothes, and laid down in her bed. A little while later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at her grandmother's house. When she entered, she noticed that her grandmother looked quite strange. Surprised, she said, "Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have! All the better to hear you with, my dear." The wolf replied in the grandmother's voice. "And Grandma, what big eyes you have," said the girl. "All the better to see you with, my dear," answered the wolf. Finally, feeling scared, Little Red Riding Hood exclaimed, "Grandma, what big teeth you have!" The wolf, unable to hide his disguise any longer, growled, "All the better to eat you with," and lunged at the little girl. Just then, a woodsman passing by heard her scream and rushed inside. He quickly subdued the wolf and rescued both Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother from the cupboard. The wolf was driven away, never to harm anyone again. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood remembered her mother's advice. She stayed on the path and never talked to strangers again. Moral of the story: be cautious with strangers because not everyone is what they seem. Don't forget to like and follow.